He had Action Bronson's on. Nah, 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 nah. We in. What it do?
What's up, man?
He's Chris, I'm Kyle. Welcome to the Chris and Kyle Show. You ready to do this, dog?
I am. What's up, people?
What's up, gangstas?
In your car or in your living room or wherever that you are in life. Maybe they're watching this inside of a cave. You never know.
That'd be crazy. I don't know why you're doing that, but keep it up.
It's probably kind of boring in a cave.
That's true. That's true. Anything could be helpful. So we just watched the Knives Out trailer, and I think every actor that's ever existed is in it.
Go through the laundry list of people that are in this cast.
All right, so Knives Out is Rian Johnson's newest film. People would know Rian Johnson. He made Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Looper as well, right?
Yes.
Rian Johnson's super talented director.
So there's a movie called Brick.
Yes,
that's
Brick,
a much smaller but interesting movie.
So this movie is starring Ana de Armas, Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
Chris Evans, Captain fucking America. Daniel Craig, James fucking Bond. Michael Shannon, Neil Before Zod. Jamie Lee Curtis, Freaky Friday. What is the horror movie she's actually famous for?
Halloween.
Halloween, yeah. Toni Collette, who I think might be the best.
Jamie Lee Curtis is in New Girl. She plays.
She's her mom. She's her mom.
Yeah.
I think Toni Collette
and Rob Reiner, such a strange.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah.
Toni Collette, Hereditary, one of my favorite movies ever, the way back. But I think she might be one of, if not the best at being a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, she does that. There's like one scene in this trailer where she's like full, like when Daniel Craig's like talking, and she's like, "No, we can't." Blah. I don't really remember what the line is, but she's just like going so hard.
I think
in
Toni
bitch
Collette,
mode.
She's good at fucking doing a lot of things. She's
She's an incredible actress, but she can pull off that fucking "I'm being a bitch" thing really well. She was in Velvet Buzzsaw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
she's a bitch in that movie.
Yeah, very stuck up.
Catherine Langford, most famous for 13 Reasons Why and
Love Simon.
Lakeith Stanfield from Atlanta. Sorry About You. Sorry to bother you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to bother you. He's blown up. I'm really happy about that.
Lakeith Stanfield?
He does so much work now, and he's fucking great.
Yeah,
he's super funny in Atlanta. I never saw Sorry to Bother You. I wanted to, but I never did.
I would love to watch. That's a movie that I really want to watch with you.
Yeah? Because you want to see...
Because of that would be a great spoiler episode.
You just want to see how I react to it?
Yeah.
I was excited.
It'd be great.
I think I would like it. But
it'd be a great spoiler episode. We can't talk about it too much without doing a spoiler episode on it.
Ricky Lindome, who's like she's been in a bunch of like TV shows and like guest spots and stuff.
Also a New Girl.
She's easily the least. Yeah.
She goes on a date with Winston, and their cats date each other.
Their cats date each other. Yeah, exactly. Christopher Plummer, aka the GOAT Oscar speech.
Mm-hmm.
Don Johnson, Miami Vice, which you just taught me. Jaden Martell is that kid from It, who I didn't recognize.
Oberyn's nephew.
Nope. Good joke though. Frank Oz. And there's a bunch more people, but none of them are. I don't see any. Those are all the famous people or the credited people, like the poster credited people. Cast is completely insane. The amount of people in this movie.
Do people know who Frank Oz is?
I don't know. Do they?
I would hope so.
He's Puppet Man.
Yeah. I mean, most. So I think he does the voice for Kermit as
Miss
well
Piggy.
as Miss Piggy.
Yoda, right?
Yoda.
Yeah.
He's done like a lot of
famous puppet. Probably him.
Yeah. But he's also a pretty esteemed director as well. I like
really.
If you looked up his directorial,
did he
credits,
do the Dark Crystal?
Yeah, I think he directed Dark Crystal.
I wonder if he's working on the Netflix series.
He's done some good movies that you would recognize.
Frank Oz.
But that's an interesting casting. One thing that I noticed going through the IMDb for Knives Out is that like a lot of these characters, a lot of these actors/actresses that are in this movie aren't credited with character names. Did you see that on the IMDb page?
I didn't notice it, but I'm looking at it right now, and Yeah, Catherine Langford doesn't have one. Ricky Lindome doesn't have one. Christopher Plummer doesn't have one.
Mhm.
Jaden Martell doesn't have one. Frank Oz doesn't have one.
Right.
Everyone else that we mentioned does, though.
Right. And it seems like
Most of them have the last name Robinson because it's about a family
Yeah.
where Christopher Plummer gets murdered.
Yeah.
And he's the patriarch of the family.
When you
Chris Evans' name is Ransom.
Yeah, Ransom Robinson. That's a
amazing.
ridiculous name. Now, did
Benoit Blanc? Benoit Blanc?
Benoit?
Blanc? That's Daniel Craig.
It has to be Benoit, right?
Yeah, it must be.
Okay. When you thought of this, when you watched this trailer, did it make you think of anything? Did you get like any? I had two major vibes that I got from this movie.
What were they?
Murder on the Orient Express.
I never saw it, but I can see why.
Yeah.
I just from the vibe of like the
It's just-
whodunit thing.
Yeah, and Clue.
Yeah.
I would say is the
Clue
other
was a big one I've seen that
Mhm.
people I've never seen Clue though.
one. Mhm. It just seems like a murder mystery in like a house.
Yeah.
And
It's
it
a
has
family.
that kind of whimsy about
Yeah,
it.
it looks funny.
Yeah.
Like yeah. Chris Evans is going in on the humor.
Mhm.
Eat shit. Eat shit. Eat shit. You definitely eat shit.
I'm really interested in how Chris Evans is going to be. Like, what is his career trajectory?
So
gonna be like
I know
after
that he has
Captain
talked
America?
about before that one of the reasons he wanted to stop being Captain America is because he wanted to focus on directing.
Right.
So that is something I would expect from him in the future.
Yeah.
If his rest of his life is just directing stuff and doing weird kind of offbeat movies, I would be super cool with that. Because Chris Evans is really talented, and before he was Captain America, he did a lot of weird offbeat movies. He's always kind of been like that, not counting Fantastic Four. He either does weird offbeat movies or superhero movies.
He was also in not another teen movie.
Yep. He was in. He was one of the ex-boyfriends in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh fuck yeah, that's right.
dude. Yeah.
He's like this fucking skater douchebag.
Yeah. He's very good at playing a douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
I think like he almost cleansed his image of that from being Captain America for so long that
Yeah.
people forgot that he used to be that guy.
Yeah.
That used to be his thing. Now he's kind of doing it again in this movie.
Yeah, like even Fantastic Four being the Human Torch and
Yeah,
everything.
so
like
Human
that's a
Torch is
douche-
kind of a doucher.
Yeah, he's a douchebag
Yeah.
character.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this movie. It looks a lot of fun.
I love Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson's great. I love The Last Jedi. That's all I'll have to say about that.
I liked it.
I really liked it.
I liked it.
I thought it was really interesting and
I
fun.
think-
There are parts of it that I don't think are great, but I really enjoyed it.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
Specifically, there's an entire storyline that seems unnecessary. Nothing to do with the casting of or ethnicity of said character who has received so much hate that it's bonkers ridiculous.
Right.
But
Looper, probably one of my favorite movies.
I'm
of,
pro-
like,
I
the
was
past,
I
like,
almost
20 years.
watched Looper. When you came home and I was watching Social Network,
Yeah.
I was like, Social Network, Looper, Social Network, Looper, and I picked Social Network because we were talking about it recently.
Yeah.
And I think we were talking about the score the other day, and I was like, I'm going to watch Social Network.
I would
'cause
probably
it's-
I like Social.
You've seen it a
Network's one.
bajillion times though, but I'm probably going to end up watching Looper like this week.
Cooper's fucking incredible.
And I haven't seen it since it was in the theaters, so I really want to revisit it.
Mhm.
Plus, I just watched 50-50, so I had a little bit of a Joseph Gordon-Levitt kick going on.
Yeah.
By the way, 50-50, so fucking good. That I'd seen it before, but it's on Netflix, so I watched it again. Movie's so good. Anna Kendrick, super adorable. Seth Rogen, super funny. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, great. Just so good. So good. Love that movie. Also, Seth Rogen's name is Kyle.
Really?
Mhm.
That doesn't seem right.
One of my favorite
Seth
interpretations.
Rogen's like way too lovable to be
one of
Kyle.
my favorite interpretations of a character named Kyle is Seth Rogen in 50-50, because usually Kyle is some kind of douchebag.
Yeah.
Like Stephen Amell in New Girl's name is Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, he was on New Girl before he was the Green Arrow,
Mm.
and he was a jerk. He had CC and he blew it. He was too much of a dick.
Anyway, so that's Knives Out.
What do you think of that Skin trailer?
Skin interesting.
So I'd mentioned, I saw this just before. The director of Skin won an Oscar last year for a short film called Skin. Apparently, it's not the same story, and it's not an expansion of the short film. It's just, I think, a similar sort of idea. The whole neo-Nazi thing. I think the short film I saw is about. The description says like an African-American adult smiles at a white child from across a supermarket and shit goes wild, basically. So it's like a much more condensed thing, I think, in the short film. Whereas this is more about, this is based on a true story, for one, apparently, about some dude who was in some sort of neo-Nazi cult-looking thing and has all these tattoos, and he went through and he got all his tattoos removed and he helped basically catch a bunch of criminals, is, I think, the real-life story. But Jamie Bell plays the main character. Jamie Bell doesn't do enough stuff. Jamie Bell's good.
What else has he been in? Other, like, all I can think of is Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Well, I know he's married to Kate Mara.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, so good work, Jamie Bell. I think they met, or I don't know if they met, but I think they like started dating during Fantastic Four. He was in Billy Elliot when he was a kid, I guess. He was in Jumper. Oh my God, he was in Jumper.
The teleporter movie.
Yeah.
With Hayden Christensen.
He's the friend.
Okay.
Holy shit. Nymphomaniac? He was just in Rocket Man. Oh yeah, he was. I didn't realize that.
What did he play Bernie Taupin?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Snowpiercer. Have you seen Snowpiercer?
No, I haven't.
Snowpiercer is a cool movie. He was in Tintin. He played Tintin. What's that TV show he was on? Turn, I think it's called. He does a bunch of weird kind of small stuff. He was in King Kong. He's been around a long time though.
Which Skull Island
2005
or
King Kong?
Peter Jackson King Kong?
Yes. Yeah, Peter Jackson King Kong. Jack Black's in that movie? I've never seen that King Kong.
You've never seen it?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I've seen the mid-2000s Godzilla several times with Matthew Broderick, but I've never seen that mid-2000s
That was one of the first movies I ever saw in theaters.
King Kong or Godzilla?
Godzilla.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, this Skin movie also has, I think the other like notable cast member is Danielle McDonald. Did you recognize her?
Danielle McDonald? Yeah.
She's Patty Cakes.
Patty Cakes, yeah. I've never seen Patty Cakes, but
I haven't either. But like, it's such like a unique idea that she's like, I recognized her from the trailers. It looks interesting. It's an interesting movie.
You ever seen American
storyline.
History X?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We watched it that same night. That, Reservoir Dogs, and Donnie Darko all in one night.
Yeah.
Remember that? The triple feature we did?
Yeah.
Long time ago?
Uh-huh. 3 solid movies.
Mm-hmm.
American History X is great.
Obviously, you're going to get the neo-Nazi skinhead vibe because of this movie. Similar. Yep.
Also, dude from Luke Cage is in it.
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage is in it.
Oh, what is his name? Mike Coulter.
Yeah.
That's right, because he's got a beard. I forgot about that.
Yep.
So off the top of my head, Mike Coulter has been in this movie, Luke Cage, and Jesus Boy Plays Basketball movie.
What? Jesus Boy
Remember
Plays
that trailer we
Basketball?
saw a bajillion times?
Oh,
the kids who drown in the
saves
ice.
the kid from the water, and he's like, but I don't believe in God.
Yeah, yeah, that
He
movie,
believes in you.
That movie looked really
Was that
bad.
a real line, or am I making that up?
I think that was real. I think he literally says, but I don't believe in God. And he says, but he believes in you. I think that's a real line from the trailer. Yeah. Rough. Yeah, it looks like an interesting movie.
Who is the guy that I don't know if you can pull this up, but the bearded guy that seems like he's the one that's running shit for
The
the
villain?
Nazis?
Is it Bill Camp?
I have no idea. He looks familiar, but I don't know what I've seen him in.
Is this him?
Yeah, maybe.
That's Bill Camp,
What's he in?
known for The Night of, Loving, and
Loving.
Midnight Special. He was in Vice. Played Gerald Ford in Vice.
I've
He was
seen
in
Loving.
Red Sparrow. You've seen
And
Loving?
obviously Vice, yeah. Loving's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little boring, but yeah.
You ever see Gold with Matthew McConaughey?
No.
He was in that too. I
Oh.
haven't either, but the director's name is Guy Nativ. Nativ. I don't really know how to pronounce it.
Native?
Nattiv. So no, definitely not native.
Could be native.
I mean, it could be, but it would be weird.
Could be Jones.
That would be
You don't know
insane.
that dude.
But this dude won an Oscar for. He's from Israel. He won an Oscar in 2019 for the short film Skin in Best Live Action Short category. So I'm surprised you never saw it because you always watch those.
In when?
Last year.
Oh, last year. Yeah, I didn't watch all the ones last
Oh, you
year.
didn't watch the shorts last year? Okay.
I think all I really watched was the Best Picture noms. 2018 was the year that I watched every
single
one.
thing, yeah.
And then once I did that, I kind of like, I don't know, blew my load. I didn't even watch the Oscars last year.
Yeah, no. They're so long. They didn't have all the singing.
Yeah, I just didn't really
I don't care.
Yeah.
What do you think about... Okay. What did you think of the last Jumanji movie? Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle.
It's fun.
I love that movie. It was such a pleasant surprise to me. Like, I was not expecting it to be as fun and funny and good as it was. And it's campy and, like, purposefully bad in some places.
Like, I don't know. There's certain bits that I'm just kind of tired of. And probably when
you don't think that Jack Black being a teenage girl is that funny?
A majority,
and I think it's amazing.
A majority of people like think that's the funniest part of the movie.
It's
so like, if I
funny.
don't vibe with that bit, then it's obviously going to take a lot of enjoyment away from that movie for me. But I enjoy the little Kevin Hart moments.
Mm-hmm.
You don't walk into the water with a backpack on. Everybody knows that.
He can't eat bread or something like that. I forget. He has a weird weakness.
Yeah, I forgot what it was.
Yeah, he's got a weird one. This one, Jumanji: The Next Level, good title, has another twist on the bit of you become the Rock, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillan, Jack Black, and Nick Jonas in the last movie all are video game characters, and then they play the character from the real world. But so like The Rock played a nerd in the first one, now he's playing Danny DeVito. That's funny. Kevin Hart played Fridge, a teenage African American jock in the first movie. Now he plays Danny Glover. His Danny Glover bit is, I think, super funny that he's doing in that trailer.
I'm just not that excited.
Dude,
am I being overly
so
cynical?
Good.
I'm
I
just
think
not
it's
very
so
excited.
good. I think the bits are great. Jack Black is now Fridge. He's no longer the teenage girl.
He's no longer a teenage girl, but that's also like a really overdone, like a white dude pretending to be black is.
I think it's funny, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't find it that funny.
I think it's super fucking funny.
Like, I don't know if I want to watch a 2-hour impression, the Rock impression of.
Oh, I
Danny
definitely
DeVito.
want to watch that. I definitely do.
I'd be okay with it for like, I don't know.
No,
I feel like I'm gonna grow
definitely-
tired of the bit.
I definitely want to watch a whole movie of that. It's funny.
I feel like I'm gonna grow tired.
We don't know which real world character becomes Nick Jonas, but he's in the trailer, and Awkwafina's in the trailer as a character. She's a new addition to the cast. The most serious I've ever seen her look is that shot in that trailer. She just looks normal, has a very serious look on her face. I'm like, why aren't you being funny, Awkwafina? You're funny. Be funny.
It's like a 2-second shot if that, of her like looking off into the distance.
Yeah. Where's 2 Chainz? Why aren't you guys talking about phones?
Mm-hmm.
I'm disappointed that you don't like the Jumanji movie more.
I don't know. I enjoyed a majority of the stuff that I enjoyed about the Jumanji remake.
Welcome to the Jungle. Yeah.
Welcome to the Jungle. Was just like the interesting like sort of twists that they sort of were putting on the Jumanji universe, but like I don't know. I felt like the Robin Williams Jumanji like movie was just so much more heartfelt. Like I just had so much more of a connection with that movie.
I don't really remember it that well. I saw it when I was a kid, but I remember him being like really hairy.
Yeah.
Hey man,
It was just it's
not everyone's gonna like everything. I'm just really disappointed in you.
Like do you
See, this is why
how
I
do you feel
sometimes think you're not gonna like stuff because of movies like this.
That's-
where I'm
and that's
like,
fine, but
it
like-
just seems like a perfectly likable movie.
what do you think about like Central Intelligence?
Central Intelligence. I like Central Intelligence. It was fun. It's a fun movie.
What do you think is better, Jumanji or Central?
Jumanji.
It's just like love is a strong word, you know.
The reason
I love Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder is amazing. The reason I enjoyed Jumanji more than I probably would have otherwise is because I had such low expectations for it. going into Jumanji, I was like, this movie's probably going to be really bad. And then I was so pleasantly surprised at how good it was and how much I enjoyed it that it made me like it even more. And I think just like the people I saw it with at the time, we were just all like dying laughing, and we all had such a good time that it raised, like, in my mind, the movie is probably better than it actually is because of how much fun I had watching it. So it's that sort of the way you have an emotional connection to your memory of a movie.
I would say that I even like Central Intelligence more than I like Jumanji, because like you're seeing Kevin Hart be Kevin Hart and The Rock be The Rock, and like a lot of the things that I found the most.
But you can literally do that 3 other movies per year.
But like I understand, but them together is what I'm saying. The thing that I enjoy the most about Jumanji and the entire thing is all the behind the scenes Instagram shit that Kevin Hart and The Rock are doing when they're fucking around with each other. Because
Rock calls him short, Kevin Hart calls him bald.
I find them so funny together. And
I think
like,
they're funny.
They're just doing impressions of other people, like they're kind of.
I still feel like they incorporate that though. Their chemistry.
It's not. I don't think that it's as palpable.
And now,
think they're
if anything,
as good
in
as
this movie, it's going to be more palpable because they establish that Danny DeVito and Danny Glover have this similar love-hate, give-take relationship that's going to translate to The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Still not the same. It doesn't.
You don't know that? You haven't seen it.
It doesn't vibe with me.
All right, let's talk about this Mulan trailer. Came out today.
Right.
Not Moulin Rouge. Disney live action. Okay, so it's weird to call it a live action remake at this point because they have made concerted efforts and said there's no music in this movie. The music from the original movie will not be sung. There will be instrumental versions of it. I'll make a man out of you. Instrumental version? Interesting. Okay. Mushu is not going to be a dragon in this movie. He's going to be a phoenix, apparently, reportedly. All that being said, having seen the trailer, I get it. I get those decisions having seen the trailer. You know what I mean? It looks like there's a name for the type of movie, like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type of movie. There's a name for it.
Wire Fu?
Is that what it is? Wire Fu?
But it's not really a Wire Fu movie.
That's not what I'm thinking.
It's closer to Last Samurai than it is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I like Last Samurai.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, she's doing some like flippy, hardcore acrobatic stuff though.
Is there?
Yeah, she's definitely doing shit where she like flips over multiple people and stuff.
I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why like I got more of a Last Samurai vibe. I'll say what. So Kate is a big fan of the original animated Mulan.
When's the last time you watched animated Mulan?
I was never a really big fan.
Fucking good.
I feel like I'm being pigeonholed into this like really cynical douchebag right now. I like it. Yeah, I was never a really big fan of Mulan. It just again didn't really vibe with me.
I would recommend revisiting it in your adulthood.
Okay,
it's super good.
Maybe
because I was similar to you. I was just like, oh, that was a movie, and then I rewatched it recently, like within the past year, and I was like, kind of like, wow, I didn't realize how good this movie was.
So the first thing I showed Kate the trailer, like while we were waiting for breakfast this morning, and she was like, she had like this like look in her eyes, and she was like, the one thing I'm kind of worried about. It doesn't like I enjoyed the animated film because it was so fun and like it was just so lighthearted, and it doesn't seem like this movie has that.
So here's the thing. Mulan apparently bombed in China. The market, China.
The animated
Mulan. Movie Mulan apparently did not do well in China. This movie is not being based specifically on the animated movie. It's based on the original folklore from China. So they're going in a completely different route, which is like simultaneously like kind of bold because all of these other remakes they've been doing of their animated stuff, not all of them are exact. Like Dumbo didn't seem like an exact remake of Dumbo. But, you know, The Jungle Book was very close. Lion King looks like it's going to be very close. They've kind of been jumping around back and forth. Aladdin was very close. They changed some things, but it was very close in terms of the story structure and what happens in the movie. It seems like in this movie, they're making a concerted effort to try to make sure that China likes the movie because China's a huge market. And I think this actress, I think it's Yifei Liu. I'm probably butchered it, but I'm pretty sure she's like super famous in China. The girl playing Mulan. Obviously, I don't know any of these movies, but I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that when they casted her. They like one of the reasons was specifically like she's big in China. My voice is giving out on me. Jet Li's in this? Donnie Yen is in this? Hell yeah. I haven't really looked at the cast for this much. Jimmy Wong? I love that dude. He's in Video Game High School.
I don't know who that is.
I'm pretty sure he's only been like
Yeah.
he's like a YouTuber basically.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it looks kind of cool though. Like I
That's
think
interesting.
like when's the last time we had a kung fu movie?
Are you getting kung fu vibes?
Kind of, yeah.
God, I feel like we just watched like,
she's doing like a lot, like when she's talking about. So the trailer doesn't show much for one.
Yeah.
It's not showing much. It's setting up the inciting incident basically of the film, which is her mom is being like, "Hey, we found you a husband." Coinciding with her little monologue about it, she's talking about like what a wife needs to be, just like quiet and other things that are kind of fucking offensive. I don't mean the movie is being offensive. I mean like the stereotypical idea of what a wife should be. It seems messed up. They're like cutting into her like training, and she's like doing like fucking forms and shit, and she's got her sword, and she's like, I'm like, yo, I can tell that she's like an actual martial artist based on the stuff she's doing. And then they do like some quick shots of her fighting, and it looks like really fucking good fight choreography. It looks cool.
The things that stuck out to me weren't like the kung fu like individual, like it was like her in like warrior dress. You know what I mean? Like like and the images that are in my mind of like the makeup that she was wearing.
Yeah, the wife makeup when they're like
I don't
doing
want to say
the
geisha, because geisha is like that's like a Asian prostitute basically. Right?
Oh, okay.
That's like
no, it's like the ceremonial like wedding makeup basically. Yeah. That's what it was in the movie, if I remember correctly.
I don't know enough about Asian culture to really.
Well, I'm just talking about what I know from the animated Mulan movie.
Yeah, I feel like we watched two different trailers. It's weird.
That is weird.
Looks fine.
I'm interested in it. I think it could be. I think it could be a cool take on it. And like I said, if it is like a kung fu movie, when's the last time we had a good kung fu movie?
An American kung fu movie? I don't know. I feel like they usually just go like straight to Netflix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I would say since Prime Jackie Chan probably.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I mean, it depends on what you're classifying as a kung fu movie. Like, are you saying like, because what's the goddamn movie? There was 3 of them where they fight. There's one where he fights up a tower. The first one where he fights up a tower.
Something Inferno? No?
Maybe?
Tower no? Dragon fight.
God damn it. That's really annoying.
Who's the actor in it? Is it Bruce?
I can't.
Oh, you don't know?
No,
Okay.
I don't know. It's not Bruce Lee.
Isn't there a movie where Bruce Lee does that though?
Where he fights up a tower?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's Game of Death.
Isn't that the one with Kareem in it?
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kareem's in it. In each tower, I think he fights with different weapons in each. So like one, he fights with like a little stick, a little whippy stick. Mm-hmm. There's another one with.
Did you know his hands are registered as lethal weapons?
Yeah.
And if you got in a fight with him and he accidentally kills you,
yeah. There's one where he fights with nunchucks. One where he fights Kareem. Game of Death is fucking wild. No, but I'm talking about like a more recent movie. I think there's either two or 3 of them. I didn't see the sequels.
Let's just think about it this way.
Those were recent ones. Also, the Ip Man movies have been more recent than Prime Jackie Chan.
Are those big? Like
in fucking kung fu and martial arts film culture? Absolutely.
I'm talking about superseding that. Obviously, like the culture of the people who enjoy those movies are going to go see those movies, and they're going to be good, and they're you know what I mean. But I'm talking about like superseding that, being like an actual big movie. Like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was a big movie. Lots of people saw that don't just enjoy like kung fu style movies.
That's a weird subsect though, because like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was so huge because it was like a wire fu film that like hadn't been made in a long time, and it was also so amazing critically.
Yeah.
Like it was up for a lot of Oscars as well. So I don't.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Me, as a casual person who, I don't go out of my way to find kung fu movies.
Tiger, Hidden Dragon even big for a casual moviegoer? I think it was
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is a cultural reference that people understand. Even if you never saw the movie. I've never seen it.
Sure.
I've never seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
But
I
that's
understand
exactly what I'm saying though. Is like people know of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but how many people actually saw it?
I don't know. Probably more than Tower movie you're talking about. I don't know.
Is it something Redemption? God damn it. It's going to really bother me.
Basically what I'm getting at is the most recent attempt at like a graduating beyond just being a movie for that base is like Iron Fist, and it was bad. And it was a TV show, but
Raid.
Oh, the Raid movies. Okay.
Yeah,
I've heard of the Raid movies. Yeah.
Raid movies incredible. It Man, incredible. Yeah, but like, no, were they huge theatrical releases? No.
Yeah. It's kind of like Pirates. There's not enough pirate stuff.
Mm-hmm. But it's like even the Jackie Chan movies, right?
They're different.
In at least like the ones that were really popular in America, they weren't necessarily like kung fu movies.
No, yeah. I see what you're
it
saying.
was like kung fu incorporated into a
comedy or
into a buddy
something.
cop movie.
Yeah.
Like that's.
I see what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Now this is just going to be like a kung fu movie incorporated into a female pretending to be a male soldier. That was the one thing that I was kind of surprised by. They didn't show her as a dude in this trailer.
Are you sure? They showed her in like the warrior garb with a helmet and shit on.
Oh, I missed that. I just saw her. There's that one fight scene where her hair's out. She's just fighting dudes with her hair flowing.
No, the one where she was like wearing like full samurai gear or something.
I must have missed it. I've seen the poster where you can see the helmet on the sword. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a remake of the original poster. It's cool.
Yeah.
What do you think about the? It's weird to call it controversial, but the Ariel casting. Because we were talking about pretty recently about how Zendaya was rumored to be Ariel. And now it came out, not Halle Berry, Halle Bailey of the singing duo sisters, Halle Chloe or Chloe Halle, or there's an X. I don't know how you say it. These newfangled children and their singing names. But she's playing Ariel.
I think the controversy is whack. I don't think that fucking a majority of white people that are getting fucking outraged about this recognize the importance of representation.
My favorite counter argument,
yeah,
and not because I support it, but I think it's funny, is the people that are like, you're just telling all the redhead girls in the world that they don't matter. It's like, come on, man. Come on. All I know about that girl is that she's an insanely good singer because I saw a video right after her casting announcement, her singing Unforgettable, and it was super good. And I was like, well, dang, she got pipes. Mm-hmm. And she sounds like a Disney princess when she sings. I don't know if she's a good actor. That would be my thing. My instant reaction would be, she's an insanely talented singer. Can she act?
Right.
The only real acting history she has is from the show Grownish, I think it's called, which is the spin-off of Blackish where one of the kids goes to college. I think is what it is. So I don't know anything about her acting chops. That would be the biggest concern to me. You have to carry a whole movie if you're Ariel.
But yeah, there's nothing about Little Mermaid, like about Ariel, that's necessarily like white. That's necessarily black.
Nothing's
so
tied
why the
to
fuck?
it. Yeah.
Why does it matter? Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about is make a good movie. That's all.
Make the movie good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the most important part about that movie is that our boy's in it.
So I've seen this a lot in memes, like around like Instagram and shit like that. People are trying to push Idris Elba as being casted as Trey.
I think it's a rumor. I don't think it's official. I think he might be like rumored to be in the movie.
So I thought it was. Is it not official that Kerry Washington and what's his face are being cast?
I will look right now to see.
Gerard Butler, because we brought that up last week,
yeah.
Right? Gerard Butler.
KD to wear 7. Sorry, I just got a Bleacher Report alert. Why is he changing his number?
I legit couldn't tell you Katie's
35, dude.
35. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm weird with numbers, man. That it just don't. There's certain people like their numbers just like stick out in my head.
That is the wrong movie. There's some trash movie called The Little Mermaid that has a 4.2 on IMDb.
Yeah.
Let's see. Melissa McCarthy is credited as Ursula.
Mm-hmm.
Our boy, sound the alarms for the fan base. Jacob Tremblay is Flounder. That's great casting.
So
Awkwafina as Scuttle. Halle Bailey as Ariel. Those are the only official castings on here, according to IMDb.
Halle Berry is who?
Halle Bailey
Bailey. God dang it.
as Ariel. I will probably do that forever.
Mm-hmm.
Think I'm
Halle
seeing
Bailey.
Halle Berry and I'm not. The name. You know what's kind of like... what do you think of Rob Marshall? He's directing it.
I don't know who that is.
He made Chicago,
Oh.
Into the Woods.
Oh.
He made the new Mary Poppins movie.
Yeah, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the
Hey,
Mary
Pirates?
Poppins.
Which Pirates did he make? Stranger Tides.
I never saw Stranger Tides. I never saw the Mary Poppins one either. But I've seen Into the Woods, and I've seen
Into the Woods.
Chicago. They were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not cast a musical director for?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I saw somebody post a comment somewhere, and it was like Rob Marshall's one of the most bland directors working today. I was like, I don't even know who that is off the top of my head. So I went and looked. I was like, well, I mean, he has musical experience and he has water experience, so I totally get why they would cast him. Pirates of the Caribbean movies, yeah. I totally get why he would get this job.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
CGI
And do you want you want a visionary director to make your Little Mermaid movie? You know?
Well, I just think it's kind of interesting because so it didn't come into any real fruition, I would say, but like they casted a dude who has a thing for Aladdin, right? Like Guy, what the fuck is
Guy
his-
Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie has like when you're watching a Guy Ritchie movie, you usually know it's a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That didn't really come into fruition in Aladdin. Aladdin was more like kind of generic in style than his usual stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like there've been some
Guy
other.
Ritchie's just like one of the last people that I would have like expected to make a fucking Aladdin.
Yeah,
movie.
it was a weird choice.
I still really
Baz
like
Luhrmann,
Aladdin.
dude. Baz Luhrmann. Dog.
Baz Luhrmann would have been fucking perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, just like I'd have to look at the other. I think there's an Asian director doing the Mulan movie. Oh no, it's a lady, Nikki Caro. She made The Zookeeper's Wife and Whale Rider. Oh, she made that McFarland USA movie. The one where all the people were running on the beach in the trailer. I never saw it, but I remember that trailer.
I don't.
I'm trying to think like
trailer.
obviously Jon Favreau, Jungle Book, and Lion King. Oh, Tim Burton did Dumbo. So like they kind of randomly pick like very stylized directors. You know what I mean? For some of these and other like I wouldn't say that Jon Favreau is really stylized. Jon Favreau is more of a chameleon where he can make like any kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
If Lion King is really good, he'd be like the go-to dude for CGI stuff because that would be two great ones because Jungle Book's really good. Yeah. Does it feel like these Disney live action remakes are coming at us like faster than ever?
The Mulan one snuck up on me.
I had no idea there was a trailer coming out for that.
Yeah.
Like I knew that they had casted it and stuff, but I
and I
had
knew
no
that
idea.
it was just out there in the ether, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they were that close
Yeah,
to putting out a
exactly.
trailer.
Plus, Dumbo just came out this year. Aladdin came out this year. Lion King is coming out in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
These two are on the horizon. It's a lot. You know what I saw? Somebody made a joke somewhere about like, oh man, I can't wait until the Frozen live action movie because they're going to run out of like old movies to remake. But somebody else was like, the ones that I really would want to see, Atlantis would be a super dope live action movie.
It's another one like you see like memes of like people are like Angelina Jolie is this character
Because
this person is this character.
Yeah.
Like I don't know Atlantis enough to. I know
Danny
there's a guy-
DeVito-
there's a dude
Danny
named
DeVito as
Milo
Mole.
Thatch in that movie, right? Milo Thatch.
Milo Thatch is the lead.
is the lead character.
Yeah.
I know that. That's
Danny DeVito as Mole.
yeah,
Perfect.
perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. That character is funny as hell.
Mhm. I think the dude from Avatar, like the villain.
Yeah, he would play the captain, obviously.
Yeah.
It just seems obvious.
Mhm.
Have Mike Coulter play the what's his name? Sweet? The doctor guy? He kind of looks like him.
I said, I don't know what
Dude, Atlantis is good. I really like Atlantis. They said that one, and then there was another one that I was like, yeah, that would be super dope, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, The Black Cauldron. I was like, that's a weird one. That would be super crazy to make a live action movie of.
I don't know if I've ever seen The Black Cauldron.
It's a weird movie. I saw it like when I was a kid. I don't remember it super well. I remember being really scared from it.
I don't remember The Black Cauldron.
Weird movie to make a live action remake of.
Give me a live action Fox and the Hound, dude.
Oh man, live action Lady and the Tramp. Wait, is that real? Did I make that up? Are they doing that? That would be super weird if they did that.
Live action Lady and the Tramp.
Wait, no, they're doing a Cruella de Vil movie. Because Emma Stone is playing Cruella de Vil. I know that. Lady and the...
It's happening?
There's a CGI live action reimagining of Lady and the Tramp happening. Starring Tessa Thompson as Lady.
Okay. Is the Tramp cast?
Justin Theroux.
Wow, interesting.
It's a weird combo.
He's an interesting fella.
He's Jennifer Aniston's husband, right?
At least he was. I'm not sure if they're still
that's
together.
literally how I know him. He's the dude that was and may still be married to Jennifer Aniston.
He's also the evil wizard in Your Highness. I don't know if you've ever seen Your Highness. That's a fucking crazy.
Is that the?
I'd be interested to watch that movie with you because it's like very like it's a fantasy.
What the frick's his name? Danny McBride movie.
McBride movie.
Yes.
James Franco, Natalie Portman. But yeah, it's a raunchy fantasy.
Fantasy comedy. Yeah. Sam Elliott's in it. I don't remember Lady and the Tramp well enough to know who any of these characters are, outside of Lady and Tramp.
Yeah.
Like Sam Elliott as Trusty, Kiersey Clemens as Darling, Janelle Monáe as Peg, Yvette Nicole Brown as Aunt Sarah.
That's a lot of people.
Benedict Wong as Bull.
Who's Benedict Wong?
He's Wong in Marvel. Doctor Strange's like little friend. Yeah. I don't recognize any more people. Charlie Bean directing. Does that fit our... Oh, this is like an animated director. That's interesting. He made Tron Uprising, which I think was a TV show based on Tron.
Okay.
Or in the Tron universe. The Lego Ninjago movie.
Tron Legacy is the one with
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah. He made the Powder Puff
Hold
Girls
on, because there's 2 Tron movies with Jeff Bridges.
Oh.
There's the original Tron movie.
He's in both?
Yeah.
Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy has Garrett Hedlund and Olivia Wilde.
Yes.
Yes. That's like the newer one.
But he's like the recurring character.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Basically, he like gets stuck in the Tron universe or something.
He's Garrett Hedlund's dad. It's basically Spy Kids 3.
God, I wish I could get that reference.
You're right. Yeah, he's in Tron Legacy and he's in Tron from 1982. Wow, I did not know that. There's a Tron 3 in production? Wait, Tron is a Disney franchise?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. There's a Tron 3, plot unknown, third installment of Disney's Tron franchise. 1 cast member. Playing Ares, Jared Leto.
Why not?
Jared Leto could pull off being in a Tron movie. I don't really know Tron super well, except I know the Zeitgeist line from a Kanye song. But just like the vibe of Tron.
So you haven't seen
I
any of the
think
Tron
I saw
movies?
Tron Legacy, but maybe I it might have been a movie like my dad was watching and I like walked in and out of the room while he was
Right.
watching it or something.
One of the dopest fucking scores for a
Yo.
movie.
Yes,
that
the Daft
fucking
Punk score,
is
yeah.
so good.
This dude making the Lady and the Tramp movie was in the art department for Samurai Jack. I like him. I like him now. That's kind of interesting. But that's a weird movie to do a live action version of.
Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah. They better do a Ratatouille movie.
Oh my god, that would be fucking weird.
It'd be so weird.
I'm trying to imagine that.
It'd be so weird. And you better just bring Patton Oswalt back. Like, some of these are like, why change it? You know what I mean? Depending on how old the movie is.
Yeah.
Like, if you were making a Mulan movie and you wanted to be, like, adherent to the animated film, just get Eddie Murphy to be Mushu. They could have done it with Lion King. They could, like, why not have Jeremy Irons play Scar? They did it with James Earl Jones. I'm not saying Chiwetel's not going to be great. He probably will be. He's great in everything he does. But it's just kind of weird that the balance of who they do and don't recast. You know what I'm excited about? I forgot to mention this. We were talking about Little Mermaid. Lin-Manuel Miranda is working on it. And a lot of times I see people complain about the live-action Disney remakes. And they talk about them being like soulless money grabs and stuff like that. Lin-Manuel Miranda loves The Little Mermaid so much that he named his son Sebastian. So I can tell you one thing. That part of the movie is going to have a lot of passion behind it.
Yeah.
So calm down with your shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's real. I think they can simultaneously be an attempt to make money to fund their billion-dollar enterprise that they're constantly trying to buy more stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if it takes them making some live-action movies for them to get the Fantastic Four and the X-Men under the Marvel banner, fucking do it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think there's a tendency for people to just hyper
It's
over.
really it's pessimism.
It's pessimism, but it's just like hyper overgeneralization.
Yeah.
Like of thinking that an entire corporation is one singular entity that is just like all for fucking.
Yeah, even if at
money.
the top of Disney, it's like, this is easy money. We remake them and people see them and we make money off stuff we already have.
Yeah.
Even if that's true, that doesn't mean that the people that are directing the movie and the people acting in the movie and the people doing costumes and sets, that doesn't mean that they're not passionate about it. Mm-hmm. Like, that was one of the things I thought was the most interesting seeing in the Mulan trailer, was just seeing like the costume design looks really cool. Just little things like that. Like you were talking about all the makeup and that ceremonial, it looks great. Like it looks really good. But yeah, well, Lady and the Tramp, I can't wait to see the iconic spaghetti scene in live action. It's going to be amazing.
They're going to fucking switch it up in 2019.
Oh, they're definitely going to 2019
It's going to be a avocado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember Lady and the Tramp well enough to know. Like, if you were like, hey, what happens in Lady and the Tramp? I'd be like, there's two dogs. One of them's like a street rat. One of them's like a pampered lady. And they eat spaghetti and they fall in love.
One's a street rat.
It's a short film.
One's a princess.
They
and
sing,
then the street rat gets a genie.
Yeah. Yep. It looks like a meatball. He has to lick the meatball and a genie comes out.
He does a little Italian accent. It's kind of weird. A little racist.
It's just the chef from Ratatouille.
I've seen Ratatouille once.
Dude, Ratatouille is good.
Yeah.
All right.
I remember enjoying it.
Listen, I have to share some insane news with you.
What's that?
Kawhi Leonard's a Clipper.
Right into it. Okay. So is Kawhi like top 5?
Oh, wait, I'm not done.
Okay.
Paul George is also a Clipper.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Hold on. What?
Yeah.
This move. Does this make like Kawhi like top 5 GMs in the league? Like
I mean, he was a big part of it, right? Apparently, according to reporting, Kawhi's thing was that he wanted to play in LA and he wanted to play with another superstar.
Yeah.
So he was kind of balancing this juggling act of working these teams against each other to get what he wanted. And based on what people are saying, if the Clippers couldn't have worked this trade out, he would have joined the Lakers. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've seen people say. He apparently was very, like, the Clippers provided the best of all worlds, right? The Clippers provided the location of the Lakers, and they provided the stability as a franchise of the Raptors. So he could be on a team that was well run and well coached, like the Raptors, and not have to live in Canada in the cold. Mm-hmm. He can live in LA, where he's from. The thing about the Lakers he didn't want to deal with, what I would assume would be the front office shenanigans, the whole Laker-ismness of life. You know what I mean? The overanalyzation of being a Laker and being LeBron's teammate. That's like a supernova of media stuff. And I think he just kind of also has that sort of I want to be the guy thing a little bit. It's like with him and Paul George, he's still the guy. You know what I mean?
Do you think that he has that like I want to be the guy thing?
I think he does.
I mean, because there was talks. With,
I think
with
on
him
the
talking
court
to KD and shit.
That's true.
So
that was a rumor as well.
I don't know how much of it. Like I think he wants to win.
I don't think he's like Jimmy Butler, where Jimmy Butler is straight up like, I want to be the alpha dog.
Yeah.
I think, but maybe that's what it comes down to, is what you just said, the I want to win thing. And I think the most important thing for him was having another superstar with him because he wants to win.
I don't think that him choosing the Clippers over the Lakers is necessarily an indictment on him. It's not the same thing as saying, as him saying like, I don't want to play with LeBron. I want to be the best guy on my team. I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it just means that there was just so much more.
The Clippers had more to offer. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
They have a better team around there. They're a better run organization, better coaching,
better coaching, better bench,
an amazing bench,
and they had the front office that like has. They had the balls to go out and get Paul George for that huge amount. Do you want to go through like the
off the top of my head, it was
5 unprotected.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, 4 unprotected first-round picks, 1 protected, which is a Miami pick,
right?
And 2
pick swaps.
Years where they have the right to swap picks with the Thunder, or with the Clippers,
which is like
all for Paul. So it's interesting because that's a shit ton of stuff. That like for just Paul George, that's actually too much.
Yes.
But the way the Clippers were approaching it is that we are essentially trading for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, because if we don't make this trade, Kawhi Leonard doesn't come here. That's why they gave up so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Great move for the Thunder too. I mean, if it was too and it's like one of those things where it's like making something out of nothing. Sam Presti has 48 hours to register the fact that Paul George now wants a trade, has to figure out what he can get from the Clippers, and then plays it against the Raptors as well. He does both. He plays both sides. For the situation he was put in, he did a great job. And now it raises the question of, are they going to try to move Russell Westbrook? Are they going to try to move Steven Adams? Is this a full-on rebuild? Or is this are they going to try to quickly retool and move these draft assets for veteran players? Who knows?
It's, obviously like a landscape-changing move for the entirety of the NBA. The fact
the NBA looks entirely different next season. And I heard someone say this, I don't remember what show it was on, but they said that this seems like what Adam Silver wanted. And it's this whole...
That's fair.
There's no more super team. You know what I mean? There's 2 guys in a lot of places, but there's no more super team.
It's a duo league now.
Yeah, which is awesome. I think it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Kate is on her way home.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how far away she went, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I mean... You might see Kate on the camera if she walks in. Who knows? Yeah.
So Clippers instantly become the leading contenders for a championship, right?
If not the contender, they're one of the most.
I mean, who would you put ahead of them?
The Lakers did a good job of filling out the roster around LeBron and AD.
Sure.
They brought in Boogie, which who knows what that's going to mean.
Mm-hmm.
If Boogie goes back to 2 years ago, Boogie, they're a super team. They have 3 superstars. If he does, but who knows if he can do that. And I don't know if you remember, but on the Pelicans, AD and Boogie had developed a pretty good rapport and play style together before he got hurt. Mm-hmm. So that could be really interesting. Obviously, there are teams that have probably more depth. There are definitely teams with more depth than the Lakers, and there might be teams with more depth than the Clippers. Teams like the Jazz and stuff like that who have also made big moves. But the Clippers have such elite bench pieces in Lou Will and Montrez.
I would have to look at the Jazz roster because it's just been so much
movement. Changed. And the Blazers remain sort of deep, and they've kind of retooled their roster a little bit.
But, man, the
Nuggets are going to keep growing.
Is it okay? Would you find it fine to include Paul George as a superstar? Yeah. Kawhi Leonard is
he was third in the MVP voting last season. Of course I would.
And if he doesn't get hurt, then the Thunder are contending last year. I mean, I don't think that's crazy to say.
Yeah, they plummeted after his shoulder injury.
Yeah. Now, hopefully, after that shoulder surgery, he comes back next season and he
might miss the beginning of the season. Apparently, I didn't know that.
But I think we've said this before. If Kawhi just went to the Clippers, they're already a contender.
Yeah,
correct.
Because you have Kawhi.
Right now,
Kawhi just showed that he doesn't need another
it's
superstar
not
to win
exactly
the
the
title.
same thing because you're not going to have SGA, you're not going to have Gallo, which I think that we shouldn't overlook that loss. But
Wait.
it's obviously not.
If Kawhi went to the Clippers without them getting Paul George,
Exactly.
they still would have SGA.
Because we've
and
talked
Gallo.
about that before.
Yeah.
Like if Kawhi literally just signed with the Clippers,
slipped into that team. Yeah,
exactly. Then they're instant contenders, right?
Mhm.
So we shouldn't overlook the fact that they lost SGA and that they lost Gallo. And SGA played really well, even last year against the Warriors, which was a full strength Warriors team, and he was dropping 25 points a game or whatever
in the playoffs. Yeah,
he was doing really well. Gallo also a really good piece. Was he their number one option? The Clippers, I don't know enough about the
absolutely,
Clippers.
especially after they traded Toby.
Yeah.
His biggest weakness is being injury prone.
Yeah.
That's his biggest problem.
Yeah.
He's injury prone, and he's not fleet of foot. We'll say. Defensively, he's got some lumbering issues, but
man, they still got Lou Will and Trez coming off the bench.
That bench is going to be. It's going to be really interesting to see how they do their lineups, because do they start Zubats and Mo Harkless? Do they have Mo Harkless come off the bench and they start Kawhi at the 4? Right. It's kind of
but they do have a lot of options there.
They have a lot of options. Doc Rivers is going to be able to do a lot of tweaking.
And I heard somebody say this on The Ringer. I think it might have been Jonathan Sharks. He was talking about how they can basically dictate the matchup for whatever team that they have. There's just a lot of interesting lineups that they can throw out. Like if they want to go small, that they can, especially if they bring back a guy like Jermichael Green.
Yeah.
If they can throw out Zubac, even someone like Kevin Galley, you can't overlook
the FSU guy.
Yeah, the guy that we actually saw play out here in Anaheim. He's a really interesting kind of wrinkle that they could throw in there because
he's so giant.
I mean, he's not necessarily giant. He's like 6'10". He's like Al Horford. He's
than that.
literally the exact same size as Al Horford.
Oh, okay.
But
interesting.
He has. I think that he's Al Horford light.
Oh, I was thinking of Taco. That guy's a giant.
Taco Fall is huge.
Yeah.
No, he's.
I was like, weird name, big man.
very different than Taco Fall. Much more skilled and actually a really good shooter. So if and the Clippers seem like a team who can really integrate young guys into their roster really, really well. So if you want to bring in somebody like Kevin Galley for 15 minutes at a time. And run some good pick and pops. I think that you shouldn't overlook.
I think what's going to be more interesting than their starting lineup is going to be their closing lineups, because their closing lineup could be something like Lou Will, Paul George, Kawhi, Montrez, and one other, like maybe Landry Shamet or something.
If Landry Shamet's going off, do you leave him out there? Yeah. Yeah, they just have a lot of interesting pieces.
Patrick Beverley could be on in that lineup instead of Landry Shamet. You never know. Yeah. Their defense is going to be disgusting. Their perimeter defense, like their interior defense, might lack a little bit. They're going to lack I don't think Zubats is a defensive force, and Trez is undersized. He plays with a lot of effort, but he's undersized. Yeah, it's good. They're going to be interesting. They're going to be really fucking good. I think the Lakers are going to be good.
I feel like we're missing somebody as far as their front court.
The Clippers?
Yeah. Who?
Well, they sent away their 4. They sent away Gallo.
I understand that.
So
I'm not talking about forwards. I feel like there's another center that we're forgetting.
I don't think so.
Because they started Zubac at the end of the year last year, right?
Zubats, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe rim protection is probably their only
a weakness.
Yeah, their only
but
weakness.
good luck getting to the rim.
True.
With those perimeter
defenders,
defenders, it's
nasty.
insane. The Lakers filled out the roster with Danny Green, Boogie. They brought back some guys. They brought back Rondo. They brought back KCP. They brought back JaVale McGee.
Jared Dudley they
brought in.
Yeah.
What's that dude's name? Caruso?
Alex Caruso. Was he a restricted free agent?
I don't know.
I think he was.
Probably.
KCP is also
a
restricted free agent, right?
Probably.
I think.
I know they brought him back. 2-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they got Boogie for the minimum. The mighty have fallen. Mm-hmm. That dude was in line
Did you say Quinn Cook?
No, they did get Quinn Cook.
Yeah,
That's
Quinn Cook's another
interesting.
one.
It's gonna be interesting to see how Quinn Cook is in a expanded role.
I saw someone post, I forgot where this was, but somebody was like, would you rather have Quinn Cook for $17 million or Rozier for $17 million?
Oh man, Quinn Cook's not getting that much.
No,
right?
he's not.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he signed for the minimum. I think he might have.
I think it was like a 2-year, $6 million or something.
Yeah, that's what I want to say.
8
It's
million,
like,
something
it
like
might
that.
not be minimum. It might be like $3 million, but it's fucking bargain.
Yeah.
I would say for Quinn Cook. Like,
I don't
especially
know.
for
I don't
what
know.
they need.
I don't know what he's gonna be like in an expanded role. I don't know. But yeah, it was crazy how quickly those rosters got filled out after Kawhi made his decision. It looks like now the Thunder and Raptors are teams. Like, are they going to be teams that just sort of run it with what they've got and see what they can do, or are they going to be teams that unload these older, bigger contract guys and try to get pieces? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The Heat are being linked to Russell Westbrook, I think, not because of any like rumors or anything, but just out of like sheer Pat Riley would do something like that. He would go after a superstar. I don't know how I feel about it.
About going after.
I
Russ?
love Russ. I love watching Russ play. I love how much passion he has.
Yeah.
I don't love the shots Russ takes. Russ is super inefficient.
And there's a potential there for that. Like, he might actually make your team worse, right?
Potentially. Well, depending on what we have to give up for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if you get rid of Bam,
And he's
you guys
making-
don't have a lot of assets as far as picks.
No, we have almost no pick
Yeah.
assets left.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's young guys are Justice, Bam, Tyler Hero, Derek Jones Jr. Those are like young pieces.
And
We've got enough contracts to match up.
Like, if I'm the Thunder, I would like Tyler Hero to pair up with SGA. That would be an interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting.
Dude, that boy been balling in summer league.
Yeah. It's also
It's summer league, so you got
Summer league.
but it's like, it's nice. It's nice seeing someone who can shoot off the dribble.
It's
Because
obviously
the only dude who ever does that with any level of success is Dion, and he does it too much.
yeah.
So it's like good to see someone that's good at it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Tyler Hero. I'm glad that we didn't draft him.
Oh shit! Do we have a game today? If we have a game today, KZ might play. Finally,
Oh yeah.
your boy.
Fucking the Heat are doing like a really cool Stranger Things themed
Mm.
thing for all of their players. Like, as far as the players that they've acquired.
Yeah.
And they've basically just like pasted on the faces of their recently acquired assets onto Stranger Things characters. And Jimmy Butler was one of them.
Yeah,
Right.
I saw the Jimmy Butler. That's the only one I saw.
They did one with KZ as well, and KZ posted on his Instagram because I follow him on
Whose
Instagram.
body did they put him on?
I don't remember,
Because it feels like you just have to put them both on Lucas.
But he was just like big mood. And I was like, that's funny. I really like KZ Okpala. I really hope he.
I would
want
want to be on David Harbour's body. America's dad.
You would want to?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If my face was being photoshopped onto one of those posters,
I wish I could just have KZ Okpala's body.
I mean,
That would be nice.
You would be you'd be living a different life.
I would. It would be nice though. 6'10", 7'2" wingspan. That would be nice. That'd be nice.
You could reach your computer keyboard from much farther away,
Mm-hmm.
but your fingers might be so big that typing would be hard.
Might be able to play the piano better. Also, I'll be able to dunk. That would be sweet.
That's true. You would be able to dunk. You'd be able to reach like the high shelves at grocery stores.
Yeah, I don't really have a big problem with that. I don't.
Like the really high shelves.
The really high ones. Yeah, I think Magic are actually playing right now, but Mo Bama's not playing, so it doesn't matter.
Why is he not playing?
They're just restricting his minutes. Like, he's
Is he still recovering, basically?
yeah. They're just being.
I mean, it seems like it's the thing to be very cautious in summer. It's not worth risking long-term health issues for these guys in summer league. Like, Zion isn't going to play the rest of summer league because he like bumped knees with somebody.
Yeah,
It's okay. We got one really good highlight play out of him.
dude,
Completely
like I said,
like
dude,
sunning Kevin Knox, but Kevin Knox played great that game.
Oh,
but
dude, I like I said while we were watching that game between the Pelicans and the Knicks fucking summer league teams, like it sucks for Kevin Knox because I saw that fucking highlight everywhere.
Yep.
It's all over Instagram.
Yep.
It's all over Reddit. And Kevin Knox was playing so fucking
he
good.
played really well.
He had I think he had like fucking 11 points in the first like 5 minutes or some shit like that. But
And then he got ragdolled by Zion. He got like thrown to the ground while Zion took the ball from him. That dude is strong.
Yeah.
Oy.
Yeah.
He's only 19, right? Still?
Yeah.
He just turned 19. It was just his birthday. He just turned 19.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Yeah. He's a young guy.
What kind of genetics are pumping through that dude to be built like that at 19 years old? It's crazy.
I'm just worried about him. I hope he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, me too. Don't get hurt.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, like there's Summer League doesn't really fucking matter.
It really matters for the
Vic Laws and Daquan Jeffries. Of
the fringe guys.
Yeah.
It really matters for them.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter for Zion.
Yeah.
Or Mo Bamba. Like Mo Bamba's got a spot.
Mm-hmm.
The whole NBA free agency has been so melded in my mind. I don't know if we missed, like, between last episode and this episode, if we've missed any big names. I think last time the Jimmy Butler stuff wasn't official, but it was, like, already agreed to in principle, basically.
I don't even remember. I don't even know what the final deal was for the Jimmy Butler thing.
It was a 4-team
4-team
deal that involved sending Josh Richardson to the Sixers. The Heat got Jimmy Butler. The Blazers got Hassan Whiteside. The Heat also got Myers Leonard. And the Clippers got Mo Harkless and a Heat pick, which they sent to the Thunder as part of the Paul George trade.
Yeah.
I think that's everything.
Yeah, that's a whole lot.
Yeah, 4-team trade. Ay. I don't want to lose my boys if they go after Russ. I don't want to lose Justice, and I don't want to lose Bam.
I hope he goes somewhere like because I don't really want like if the Thunder aren't really gonna compete, I don't really want Russ to be.
But here's the thing, like
in OKC,
they've still got a pretty good, at least like their starting roster is still pretty good. Russ, Shea, Andre Roberson is back from injury. Danilo Gallinari, Steven Adams. It's still a pretty good roster, like starting lineup. It's not bad. I mean, I read that Bleacher Report article yesterday that ranks all starting lineups by WAR, which I think is win over replacement, and they were 10th in the NBA.
Really?
Yeah.
After that trade.
Yeah, with that starting lineup, they were 10th in WAR.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that, I mean, they're still going to have that would move Jeremy Grant to the bench, which Jeremy Grant that's a solid bench piece.
Uh-huh.
That would move Terrence Ferguson to the bench. They have Nerlens. They brought Nerlens Noel back. They still have Dennis Schroeder. I mean, that's a quality 9-man rotation. That you can push for a playoff spot with that lineup. You can try. Now it's going to involve Russ probably being 2 years ago Russ again to make any real impact. But they could run it.
And
That's a playoff team in the East for sure.
For sure. But it also just depends on, like on paper, it should be, that should be a good lineup.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows about the fit with SGA and Russ, how that's going to, and there's just like I feel like the Clippers are one of those teams, like it's kind of like, at least Celtics before this year, like how, certain people were going after certain Celtics players and they would always, it's kind of like a Spurs effect as well, where like just specific players are just better on specific teams because of the context and the environment that they're in, and like the fact that like certain teams can get more out of certain players, right? So like Zubac is a better player for the Clippers than he is for the Lakers. Like Jonathan Simmons was a better player for the Spurs than he was for the Magic
in that playoff run.
Right.
James Johnson was better 2 years ago on the Heat than he was on the Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because Dwayne Casey wouldn't play him.
Yeah, so it's just it seems like there's certain players that like they're better in certain environments, and there's certain teams, certain organizations.
So do you think that's going to happen
more
to
out of players? So
Shea
who knows?
and Gallo?
I think it's possible that it could happen. I'm not saying that it will, but
But Gallo's been in the league a long time. Gallo's a veteran. Like,
where else did he play?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'll find out though. Like, I don't know if he was on the Clippers for super long.
But like you said, with his injury issues,
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's more of an issue than can that this
I
team
agree.
get the most out of you.
I agree. But
different type
I
of
think
issue.
I think the SGA Russ fit is I don't know. Like I don't know how much faith I can put in that going forward.
He played for the Knicks, the Nuggets. He was in the Nuggets for the longest time. And then the Clippers for 2 years. So he hasn't been on the Clippers for very long.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a career 16 points a game guy. 16, 5, and 2.
But I would be cool
Career.
with Russ going to like the Pistons.
The Pistons were one that was
Pistons
interesting
are
to me.
interesting.
And they got Derrick Rose, which is kind of weird.
Uh-huh.
But they've been trying to move Reggie Jackson for like years.
Mm.
He'd be interesting on the Pistons. They're very their shooting
not a lot of
it
spacing
wouldn't
there.
help them with their spacing, but he's just so explosive. Like, and him and Blake would be fun.
Another interesting one is the Wolves.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw somebody was like, "What if they just traded for Andrew Wiggins straight up?" Because it's weird. It's so insane to say that, right? Because Russell Westbrook is infinitely better than Andrew Wiggins, but his contract is so freaking big. He's got the John Wall contract. He's $47 million by the end of it or something. I feel like maybe you'd be like Andrew Wiggins and a pick for Russell Westbrook, and they might do it. I don't know. It'd be crazy.
And as far as fit, it seems like it would be a really good fit. Like
Yeah.
that much of a stretch five playing with Russ. Like he's never
Be
played with
interesting.
someone like that, with someone of Cat's shooting ability and offensive talent before, and it seems like someone that would if
With
if
Robert
you,
Covington to
if you-
cover up his
Mhm.
gambles.
right. If you don't want to if you want to mitigate the liabilities of Rush's shooting issues and his like shot IQ and stuff like that, you'd think that someone like Cat might actually
Would help with that. Yeah, that'd
really
be
help.
interesting.
Yeah. But who knows if they're still in the fucking D-Lo suites?
Yeah, are they
or
going to
not.
wait for like the trade deadline to try to get D'Lo or something? I don't know. Who knows, man? Everything is so crazy in the NBA now that I don't know what's going to happen with anything. Kate's here. Hello. Say hi.
I was shopping.
Awful.
Nothing.
Oh
Didn't
man,
find anything.
Nothing.
It's LA.
there's stuff everywhere.
I know. That's the surprising part.
That's wild.
I hate my life.
Kate's shopping went poorly, everybody. Yeah. NBA's nuts. It's wild.
Mhm.
Yo, you missed those fights last night. They were really good.
Yeah, I did catch up with at least the
Showed you all those highlights, dude. It was insane because there was 3 in a row like that. It was the first fight of the main card was like Michael Chiesa just ragdolling and owning Diego Sanchez for 15 minutes, and then it was like explosion. It was crazy. It was Jan Blachowicz. Don't think I'm saying that right, but I'm trying.
Yeah.
Just starched Luke Rockhold, and then George Masvidal murdered Ben Askren in 5
Is
seconds.
it officially George, or is it Jorge?
I've seen people call him George and Jorge, both like
Yeah.
on broadcast.
Right.
So I don't know. I know he reps Miami though. What
Yeah?
up? Yeah, he's from Miami. He said, I saw his post-fight press conference. People were like, "What do you think about the people saying that you were like disrespectful to Ben?" And he was like, "Listen, if I see that dude in a Whole Foods, I'm gonna slap him up. I don't care." He like really hates Ben Askren. That was like masterful, like awesome, cool, insane knockout.
Mhm.
Just
It
the
was
fact
insane.
that he planned it
Oh,
and then executed it so perfectly.
And it's almost like when I mean this might be hindsight bias here, but you know, seeing the replays of the highlights, right? Like in it like showing before the bell rings, and you see that look in Jorge's eyes,
Mhm.
right? And Yeah, it's almost like he just knows.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna get this motherfucker.
And he was
in
leaning
5
so
seconds.
casually like, up against the fence, and then he just sprints.
He takes a couple side steps.
Yep.
Like I sat there and like thought about him. Like, can you fucking finish somebody quicker than how he finished?
Well, I think the only way that you would get a faster official stoppage would be if the ref was there to grab him right at the knee, because he had
Yeah.
enough time to punch him a couple times after, because the ref was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, I have to get in there and stop this. Like,
Yeah.
it was so fast. Yeah, it was crazy.
And like if you didn't have like the 2 little side steps that
Yeah.
Masvidal had,
Yeah, I guess if you just
if you
sprinted
went
directly
sprinted right
and
into
just like, hit someone as hard as you could and they went out. Yeah. It's hard. It's going to be hard to ever top that 5-second
it's nuts.
finish. It's
absolutely
and,
nuts.
and to do it to Ben Askren, who's undefeated.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy.
But
He's probably going to get Usman now.
right,
George.
Yeah.
Jorge. George. Will probably get to fight Usman. That's an interesting fight.
right. I really hope that, because I mean I like Ben. I feel like he's kind of like miscast. A lot of people,
I was like just going around looking at different online stuff of the while the fight was going on. There's a very split divide in the like MMA fan community of whether or not you like or hate Ben Askren. It's interesting.
he is polarizing. And
Yeah.
I don't think that he does. I don't think that it's unjust. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that like he doesn't deserve some of like the vitriol. Is that a good word for it?
Sure.
That he gets like some of this hatred that he's getting
Yeah.
from a portion of the UFC fan base, especially the people that don't know him from previous stuff. But,
Yeah.
like I've known about Ben Askren for a very long
Yeah.
time, since high school
Yeah.
days. And I
think a lot of people probably don't like watching him fight because he's a wrestler.
yeah.
So there's
There's
people
that.
aren't going to like him.
But I think that he's just kind of been miscast. And like I said, it's not.
Yeah, but is that his own fault? Because he's kind of
that's
done
what I'm
it.
saying. It's not 100% not his fault. You know, like, but I don't think that he's a Colby Covington character. You know, like he's not. I don't think that he deserves that kind of.
I'm pretty
hatred.
sure Robbie's fighting him,
Um.
and I hope Robbie just goes fucking crazy.
Yeah. 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 Fuck Colby Covington. But I mean, Ben Askren, like, if you have the time to do it, like, you can go in and he has a thing on his Facebook page. I want to say it's called like Mental Mondays, but he just talks about like the mental aspect of wrestling and competing on at high levels. And it's a really like, there's a demand for shit like that, like, in sports psychology, because it's something that like you work so much on technique, specifically with wrestling and stuff like that, but like, and it can just completely change like fucking GSP. If you're gonna just gauge people's trajectories of their careers, looking at GSP and how much he changed once he started going to a sports psychologist.
Yeah.
I mean, it changed his career, and without the correct positive thinking and the adequate sports
Yeah, and
psychology
GSP's
that
also
he
like
had.
such a weird dude.
Yeah,
Afraid of aliens and shit.
he's crazy.
He
He's
runs
fucking
over and
fucking
hugs
crazy.
Arnold Schwarzenegger after a
Yeah.
fight when he sees him.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that the other day. It was super cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Jorge, whatever his name is,
Masvidal.
Masvidal has been on a tear, and him fighting Usman that'll be fun. I think. Be interesting to see if if Usman just kind of tries another manhandle job, like he did. Who was that? Who did he do that to? I don't remember.
I can't think of it. Anyways, like I hope that
It was a wrestler. That's why it was so crazy. He did it.
right.
Fuck, can't remember.
I hope that this starching of Ben Askren sort of like forces him. Like, he's not a young guy.
He's 34.
He's not a young guy. So like, I hope that he can either like be like, okay, you know, like I only have a couple fights left in me or whatever, or he can kind of be like, okay, I need to be even smarter than I formerly was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you
Like,
need to
the fact
develop
that he
some
was-
level of stand-up game to get to the point where you can get someone on the ground, which normally he's able to do.
Right.
But if you're so predictable that Masvidal can train for weeks to do this opening gambit and it works,
Exactly.
that's a problem.
Exactly. And this is just a different game. Like, this isn't Bellator anymore.
Woodley. It was Tyron Woodley that Usman manhandled. Duh.
Oh, you were talking about Usman.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like you were talking about George.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, it'll be interesting to see if Usman tries that similar strategy to Masvidal, where he just strangles his whole body for 25 minutes. after that fight, there's another explosion because Amanda Leona Nunez head kick knocked out Holly Holm. I don't know if you saw this. Holly was the only women's strawweight or bantam 25 or 35 or 45. I don't remember the names for them. Champion, not strawweight. That's 15. Champion that Amanda had not beaten yet. Anyone who's ever worn the belt in those two divisions, Amanda has beat. Mm-hmm. It's insane. She's the GOAT, dude. She's the GOAT female fighter ever. Mm-hmm. All time. And she's the sweetest person in the world.
Mm-hmm. I said this yesterday about Amanda Nunez. So one of the reasons why I really like her is her personality. I feel like she's the Giannis of the MMA world.
That was a great connection. Yeah. It's perfect.
Just insanely physically gifted. She's got power for fucking
it's
days.
Insane.
And she is the sweetest person on fucking planet Earth.
Yep.
She's just so fucking nice.
Yeah, I think I tweeted after she won. I was like, Amanda Nunez is the sweetest person on earth, but she'll kill you dead. Yeah. But yeah, she was like, yeah, I wanted to knock her out the way that she knocks people out, so I worked on the head kick really hard. Like, all right, you did it. Yeah, and then the main event was John Jones versus Thiago Santos, who put up a fucking really good fight. I mean, like,
I'm gonna have to track down that fight.
Yeah, you could tell that John had a lot of respect for his power. He also did a really good job of kicking the shit out of John's lead leg a lot of the time. Like, John got wheelchaired out of the arena last night.
Really?
They both got wheelchaired out of the arena last night.
Oh, damn.
They both got helped back to the backstage. Like, their teams were like supporting their weight, and they were both like limping, and they both got wheelchaired out of the arena. And John, it was just because he got kicked so much in the leg. Santos was because it seemed like he tore something or did something to his knee during the fight when he threw a kick, and he didn't plant properly or something, and it. Right. So throughout the fight, his leg was like giving out on him, and he still managed to get a split decision. He didn't win, but it went to a split decision. And I think a lot of John is just so freaking smart, man. He's just such an intelligent fighter.
Did it seem like he was?
I don't know if I've ever thought about how elite defensively John Jones is in striking. You know what I mean? He's so good at just getting out of the way of strikes and just deflecting things the right way. Like, it's crazy.
Well, and it's one of those things that, like, me and you aren't going to be able to pick up 10% of it, you know?
Yeah.
Just because it's so technical, and like there's just like what we're seeing is really only the tip of the iceberg of, you know, how smart his technique is and all the strategies that he's able to.
A lot of people were trying to claim that Santos won last night, and I don't know if I would agree with that. I think it was really tight. I think that he definitely won round 1, and that's the one round that I would say he definitely won. And John definitely won round 3,
right?
Because he did that thing in round 3 where John Jones starts stalking you, and you know you're in trouble,
right?
Because when he starts like cutting loose a little bit and starts throwing weird spinning elbows and fucking wheel kicks and shit, and you're like, oh, John thinks he might have you. But really, those were the only 2 rounds that I thought were hands down wins for either fighter. 2, 4, and 5 were all close. And I think 5 maybe probably went to Santos. So that would mean that John won 2 and 4 in the eyes of the judges, 2 of the judges.
Okay.
But it's just like I think a lot of people forget while they're watching John Jones that all of the time he spends where a dude is up against the cage and he's just sort of hitting you with these random kicks and he's not letting you punch him, like, that all matters in scoring. And I think people forget that.
That those little things are really adding up.
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
those weird shoulder strikes, and
he never did anything like. There was no clinch. There was not a moment of clinch in this fight.
Oh, okay.
No clinching. He never went for a takedown, which I thought was really weird. He faked a few times, like he did this weird little reach thing where he made it look like he might try to go for one. He never did.
Did he seem more reserved?
He did. Oh, he said after the fight, he was like, I played it safe. He apologized to the crowd.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I had a lot of respect for his power and I played it safe. And he was like, I got the win for my family. He said some fucking the fake John Jones shit.
Yeah. John Jones, it's like one of those things that you kind of see in like a lot of different aspects of his life. His own greatest enemy is himself, right? Yeah. You see that with how reserved that he can be, like Oven Sam Prue fight. He was a lot more reserved. I mean, like,
that was off that big layoff too.
True,
and
there was a lot of ring rust there.
Huge. He was doing all that body like powerlifting and shit.
But even he said that he was like I just felt I saw myself doing things and I wasn't actually doing them.
Yeah.
So like there was a lot of that. Obviously, the fucking out of octagon shit that he's gone through as far as the
He literally
drugs,
called them
the crime,
shenanigans. I think it was either in an interview leading up to the fight or in the fight promo cut or something. He called it shenanigans. He was like, all of my out of the octagon shenanigans.
All of the shenanigans, as well as like the his soul loss in quotations against Matt Hamill.
Yeah, which Dana White is apparently trying to get reversed into a no contest.
Yeah,
which it should be. Yeah, I have this like I still really like John Jones. Like I still want him to win when he's in there. Like
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Well, I think
maybe if your name's Daniel Cormier.
Well, yeah,
yeah,
and I think like I would say maybe the majority of people hate him now because they feel like he cheated the sport, and obviously, like to me, the hit and run to me is the worst thing that ever happened with him. That's fucking awful. Mm-hmm. The coke stuff is like just ridiculous and crazy. The steroid stuff I don't care about. That's the one I think a lot of people get hung up on. A lot of people think he's a cheater. And to me, I'm like, they have like the science and this weird shit to back up that he's not. So I'm going to take that at face value and I'm going to move forward thinking that John Jones is and always has been the best fighter on the planet.
Yeah.
Hopefully he fights. Stipe and DC fight soon, and I think depending on who wins that fight will determine who John fights next. I think if Stipe wins, they'll fight one more time, probably at heavyweight. I think if Stipe wins, because the thing is, like, light heavyweight has he was out for so long that light heavyweight was able to recover a little bit because he cleaned it out. Now there's he might fight Johnny Walker, who will kill you. Johnny Walker's scary. There's a few. Jan Blachowicz he was like 4th ranked fighting Luke Rockhold, I think. So he'll be able to get a shot soon. There's a few guys in light heavyweight now that he could deal with. One thing I think, like, the one thing that John isn't a power striker, and when he fights other power strikers, he tends to fight really reserved. I feel like. I wonder, like, how deep in his career he'll be able to... Like, if he ever wants to move to heavyweight, that's going to be a huge problem. Like, if he was getting hit with the same shots... And it's John Jones. He wasn't getting hit that often, but he was getting kicked a lot in that lead leg. And there was a couple times where Santos hit him with some punches. Sean's always had a really strong chin, and he's insanely tough and resilient. But, like, if that's Francis Ngannou hitting you... That's a different level of human.
True, it's a different level of human, but like their weaknesses are also probably more exacerbated in the heavyweight. Francis Ngannou.
I don't know if John even risks a stand-up fight with Francis Ngannou. Yeah. He probably just gets him to the ground. But like, he's such a freak of nature.
Yeah.
That like, I don't know how big John can be at heavyweight. It's interesting. I don't know. Like, I would prefer him to just stay at light heavyweight and do his thing. Anyway, it's a fun night of fights. Do you want to do shout-outs? Get out of here?
Yeah, fuck. I don't think I have a shout-out.
I'll do mine while you think.
Okay.
My shout-out, in honor of his album releasing later this month and him recently releasing this project and one other on streaming platforms, is Chance the Rapper's Acid Rap.
Oh, damn. It's a nice one.
Yeah, it's a good one, right? Acid Rap is one of my favorite albums ever. It's my favorite Chance album. I guess none of them are technically albums. It's my favorite Chance project. Acid Rap he made when he was a senior in high school, right?
Because
he made 10 Day and then Acid Rap. Was Acid Rap after high school?
I want to say 10 Day was during high school for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's called 10 Day because he was...
Yeah, because he was suspended for 10 days. It was either late high school or right after high school that Chance made Acid Rap. It's just super fucking good. I don't like... How would you explain it?
How would you explain Acid Rap?
Yeah, it's like... It's really fucking good.
It's the best. It's the best Chance the Rapper.
It's my favorite Chance the Rapper project.
Yeah.
However you want to call it. I look forward to his first album later this month or whatever. But yeah, I like it more than Coloring Book. It's better than 10 Day. It's got one of my favorite songs ever. Everything's Good is one of my favorite songs ever. It's also got really good features on it. Childish Gambino's on it. Is it Action Bronson, right? Is it? Yeah.
Saba
Saba's on it. Wait,
is on Acid Rap.
who in?
Fucking
Angels is Coloring Book.
I want to say Saba's on something else.
Ooh.
I might be wrong. I might be
I don't
wrong.
know.
I think I might be thinking of Angels.
My brain is like not working right now. I can't think of. Even better than I was the last time, baby.
Twista
Twista, yep.
is on Acid Rap.
Track listing. Here we go. So BJ the Chicago Kid,
Yep.
Nate Fox, Lil K and No Saj Thing, Vic Mensa and Twista are on Cocoa Butter Kisses. No Name is on Lost. No Name's great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Saba is on Everybody's Something.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's love. Childish Gambino on Favorite Song. He had Action Bronson's on Blow Me. Absol's on it.
I'm a young Randy Velati.
Yeah. Yep. He makes a freaking Rick Pitino reference. With my hair slicked back, I look like Rick Pitino. Ludwig produced some of the stuff on here. I didn't know that. That's cool. Not the Childish song, a different song.
Yeah, but it was how both of us were introduced with Chance the
Yeah,
Rapper.
that's true.
Yeah.
Whew.
Even better than I was the last time, baby.
Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm good. Ooh, so good. I like every song on that album.
Yeah, there's
The only bummer about it being released on the streaming platforms is that Juice isn't on there.
Juice isn't on there? Really?
Yeah, he has like a little message when Juice would come on, and he's like, "Hey, I really wanted Juice to be on here, but I couldn't get it cleared in time." But the good news is, every time you listen to this track all the way through, the proceeds get donated to his charity,
Oh, nice. That's
to
cool.
Social Works.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, and you can always just hop over to YouTube, play Juice, and then hop back in.
Fucking Chance is like one of those guys. It's kind of like Steph. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
he does have a Steph vibe.
But like he's just always surprising me with like how great of a person he is.
Yeah, he's one of those people where like if you ever found out some awful secret about them, it'd be really devastating.
Yeah, it's like if you found out Tom Hanks was a rapist. It's like
Yeah,
ugh.
it'd be fucking awful.
Yeah, it would just it'd be really
It'd be worse than like someone who you didn't think was as good a person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's yours? You think of one?
So Acid Rap for you? Yeah.
Is it 10 Day?
No, it's not. Yeah, mine's kind of off the wall. I just fucking thought of it. One of my favorite action movies. I'm not even sure if it's like available for streaming anymore, but it was on Netflix at one point in time. It's called District B13.
This is that with free running in it and shit?
Okay, so what District B13 is, it's a French action film, and there's the original movie is District B13, and then the sequel is called District B13 Ultimatum. I'm pretty sure. Both are good. The first one's just is better.
Ultimatum is a classic sequel tag on.
Yeah,
word.
I know. Yeah. Anyways, District B13 is this French action movie that's like set in like a dystopian future where this dude has to go into this place called District B13. It's like this area of France or some shit in order to save his sister.
Ooh.
And so the main two guys are this guy named David Bell, who is like widely regarded as like one of the founding fathers of parkour.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking the other one,
Parkour.
I don't know his name right off the top of my head, but he is known for being a stuntman in American movies. He does a lot of stunt work for the Transporter movies. And he was also the parkour guy from
James Bond, right? Is that him?
I'm not sure if he's in James Bond, but he was the parkour guy in Live Free or Die Hard, right? So his name is Cyril Raffaelli, and David Bell is the other guy. But basically, they have to go in and save their sister or whatever. That they're not like brothers.
There's like
it's one of their
the
sisters.
action
I'm pretty
level
sure
of
it's
this
David
is like,
Bell's sister.
the action in this movie is like insane.
So
right?
the action in this movie, I like certain things about action movies. I am not a huge fan of of like gunfight scenes,
spectacle stuff like Hobbs and Shaw.
I enjoy really practical,
Mm-hmm.
well choreographed, fun shit, and shit that's like really impressive to see, like just human beings doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie has a lot of that in both parkour as well as fight choreography. So David Bell, obviously incredibly good at parkour and does a little bit of really fun fight sequences, right? Because he's just so gifted physically.
Yeah.
And it's sort of the inverse with that, what's his name?
Cyril Raffaelli.
Yeah, Cyril Raffaelli. Yeah.
Sure.
So he is like more gifted as far as his martial arts stuff, but he does a little bit parkour as well. So you just see a lot of really fucking dope practical action.
Is this a French movie or is it in English?
I'm fairly certain it's French.
Okay, did you know Luc Besson is a writer on it?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like I know that, but I don't know. It's a movie that if you really enjoy fucking parkour, if you really enjoy like good fight choreography, watch this fucking movie.
Hell
And
yeah.
if you like District B13, I would suggest the sequel. It's not as good, and it's more, they do bigger stunts instead of like the sort of like reserved, like it's almost like the first one has like more
Well, it's almost like they got a bigger budget, right?
It's more restrictive, but it's still like the sequences that they go through is still crazy fucking impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun fight sequences of parkour and stuff. But the sequel, it's the stunts themselves are bigger.
Mm-hmm.
They're more grandiose, but they're not, to me, they're not as impressive.
Okay.
Just because I like a specific kind of stunt. So like if you like Super Cop 2 more than you like the Raid movies, then you would like the sequel more than you would like the first.
Is District B13 like a Judge Dredd style thing? Is it like a mega city kind of deal?
It's got kind of those vibes.
That
I would
vibe?
say.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
It's not as it doesn't have like as beautiful of as an aesthetic. Like Dredd, like the
Carl Urban movie.
The Carl Urban Dredd movie is
With Lena Headey.
really beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
District 13 is not that. It's not.
It's just got really cool action.
It just kind of exists in a really gritty environment.
Okay, that's cool.
Where there's all of these people that have guns and there's a lot of great fighting and parkour and they're trying to fucking save this girl.
So District
area.
B13 and Acid Rap by Chance the Rapper. So shout outs for the week. I think that's going to be all for us. We've got a poll up with Midsummer and Yesterday on it. We're going to be doing it a week earlier than usual because we wanted to save the last week of the month for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think, was the way that the timing worked out. Find Chris, chrismichaelstott.com. I read his scripts. Chris Michael Stott on Instagram. Find me, Davinwell25, Twitter and Instagram. Find the show, The Chris and Kyle Show, on Facebook, on YouTube, on all podcasting platforms, on Instagram, tcaks pod on Twitter. The poll is out there on Twitter and Facebook. Hit us up. Like, share, rate, review, all that fun stuff. We out.
We out. Stay weird.